welcome to another episode of Codo Cinema, the podcast show where I talk about movies. I'm your host, Mark Codo, aka Codoman. Well, I can't stop smiling right now, although you all can't see my smile, but from the sound of my voice, you can definitely tell. Um, I got a we got I got a funny episode. I mean, there is a fun movie that we're going to talk about, and to anybody who read the title, you guessed it right. The movie we're going to talk about is Beavis and Butthead Do America, and my brother Mike is back on board, guest starring in this episode.
Yeah, everyone, I'm back for another episode.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, Mike and we are going to talk about the Beavis and Butthead movie, Beavis and Butthead Do America, and um, and Beavis and Butthead Do America is a 1996 American adult animated comedy road film based on the MTV animated television series of the same name, and it was co-written and directed by series creator Mike Judge, who would go on to create the King of the Hill TV show. But long before that, we got Beavis and Butthead from Mike Judge, who also played the title role of Beavis and Butthead. Yes, Beavis and Butthead are voiced by Mike Judge himself.
I mean, Mike Judge playing two characters, Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, and of course, the film has a supporting cast, which includes Demi Moore, Bruce Willis, Robert Stack, and Cloris Leachman. And the film follows Beavis and Butthead, who are two teen slackers who travel the U.S. in search of their stolen television and unknowingly become fugitives.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. So, anyway, it's this movie, I'm not gonna lie, although the show itself, I mean, just to give some background on this, the show, hence the title Beavis and Butthead, they're basically Beavis and Butthead are a pair of teenage slackers characterized by their apathy, lack of intelligence, lowbrow humor, and love for hard rock and heavy metal. And of course, this is basically, the whole show goes into a series of slice of life short subjects in which the characters embark on low-minded misadventures and comment on music videos in the fictional town of Highland, Texas. Like that's basically the show itself. Now the movie, so the movie they travel the U.S. in search of their stolen television, but they get into many mishaps throughout this movie.
They are basically the bad boys.
Yes, they're basically the bad boys, so to say.
Yes.
But Michael Bay did a Bad Boys movie.
Which came out a year. It came out in 1995.
A year before Beavis and Butthead Do America. But anyway, Mike Judge co-wrote the movie with Joe Stillman while also being a director on this movie. And of course, it was distributed by Paramount Pictures with MTV Productions and Geffen Pictures. And it was released at Mann's Chinese Theater on December 15th of 1996 and released in the US on December 20th of 1996. So, Beavis and Butthead came out around Christmas time. But it's not a Christmas movie, though.
Nope, it's not a Christmas movie.
Right. In fact, previous offers by MTV to adapt Beavis and Butthead to film were rejected by Judge before he eventually agreed to the film in 1994. And as production began, the series staff halted production whilst Judge wrote the screenplay with Joe Stillman. John Frizzell composed the film's score. And of course, prior to the film's release, the film was a critical and commercial success, with critics praising the story and humor and grossing $63.1 million in the US and becoming the largest December box office opening of all time, until it was surpassed the following year by Scream 2 and was the second highest grossing animated film of 1996 behind Walt Disney's The Hunchback of Notre Dame, which also starred Demi Moore.
Yeah, I mean, also Demi Moore is in Beavis and Butthead.
Yes, and then of course, prior to the success of the first movie, there was a sequel titled Beavis and Butthead Do the Universe, which was released in 2022.
Which is on Paramount Plus.
Right. Now, before we go into the breakdown of this movie, to anyone who is new to the podcast, welcome to Codo Cinema, the podcast show where I talk about movies. If you are listening to this on YouTube, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button for more content. And if you are listening to this on Podbean and Spotify, don't forget to hit the follow button as well. Okay, so anyway, um, so anyway, this whole idea for the movie, I mean, let's be honest, this was a TV show first, and then of course we got the movie. In fact, development of this movie began in 1993 as part of a production deal with MTV, David Geffen, and Warner Brothers. Geffen so believed in the potential of the Beavis and Butthead TV show that he suggested creating a film and record album based on the program. They originally conceived it in live action with Saturday Night Live regulars David Spade and Adam Sandler in mind to play the title characters.
Huh. I wouldn't imagine David Spade and Adam Sandler playing Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Now, after MTV's parent company Viacom acquired Paramount Pictures' parent company Paramount Communications on July 7th, 1994, the studio became a partner in the film, replacing Warner Brothers' interest in the project and dropping the live-action concept under pressure from series creator Mike Judge. Come to think of it, this was going to be a live-action movie.
And originally going to be distributed by Warner Brothers.
I think they went the best route to do it in animation. Because let's be honest, this show it started off as an animated TV show.
Yes.
So why bother doing a live action show? Why bother doing a live action movie without Mike Judge?
I mean, this would be difficult.
I feel like they went the right. I feel like Paramount Pictures went the right route and decided to do it in animation with Mike Judge, who created the show, by the way, and voiced the characters.
And of course, speaking of Warner Brothers, the Geffen Company teamed up with Warner Brothers.
That's true. And of course, Judge has stated that production of the animated film was very ad hoc and had some difficulties with progressing due to most of the staff's television background. The animation of the film was provided by Rough Draft Korea. The hallucination sequences design and animation was based on the works of Rob Zombie. The sequences director was Chris Prynowski. This is basically when they're in the desert and Beavis eats a cactus and hallucinates.
Yes, and everything, it all happens because Beavis eats the cactuses,
He ate a cactus. It was one cactus.
claiming that the cactus was made of water.
But it wasn't really the case.
No, it's not.
You see, that's what I mean. Yeah, that's it's it's not what you think it is, especially in the hot desert.
Yes, but we're definitely gonna talk about that.
Yep. Now, to anybody who's listening, we have not seen the actual, we haven't watched the actual show, but we are somewhat familiar with it. I mean, given the fact that Beavis and Butthead, let's be honest, they're pretty pop. Their show was pretty popular in the 90s.
Yes, including they also referenced multiple times.
Right. In fact, there were a couple of references to Beavis and Butthead. Like, let's be honest, the actual show was was very popular. That there were actually references to Beavis and Butthead. Like, for example, There is an episode on the TV show Arthur, which, funny enough, came out in the 90s. Um, there was a scene. There was a scene in an Arthur episode where they're basically so Arthur. So let's put it this way: Arthur and his friends are trying to, like, write their own story just to compete in a TV show competition. In fact, one of the characters, and I forgot it was. It was
Muffy.
Muffy. So Muffy's story was, being a popular,
A fashion star.
fashion star, yes, and apparently in one of the and apparently Arthur and Buster, basically they appeared as what looks to be Beavis and Butthead, and Buster, who looks like Butthead, he looks at Muffy, who wears this dress and says, "Hey, look, it's the big Teletubby." And that's the Beavis and Butthead reference. Yeah, because Arthur and Buster, at least in that scene, at least in that scene, they look like Beavis and Butthead. They're kind of like, it's kind of like, they're reading the script, right? They're reading their
Yes.
story, thinking of that world, right?
Yes.
And of course, there was another, and then of course another. They also appeared. Both Beavis and Butthead also appeared at the Oscars.
While presenting the award for best sound effects editing.
Yes, well, yes, they were
It,
presenting the award for best sound effects editing.
it was during the 69th Academy Awards in 1997.
And also, Saturday Night Live also did a couple of Beavis and Butthead references, most notably with Ryan Gosling.
Yes. Yes.
And I forgot who the other guy was, who was a part of the SNL Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, I completely forgot, but I do know that was a Ryan Gosling.
Yes, Ryan Gosling was a part of that SNL Saturday Night Live Beavis and Butthead sketch. I just forget who the other guy was.
Mikey Day.
Mikey Day. So it was Mikey Day and Ryan Gosling who did a Beavis and Butthead sketch on Saturday Night Live.
A news station live stream event on AI is derailed by two audience members, Ryan Gosling and Mikey Day.
That's one of the sketches, right?
Yes, that's one of the sketches.
But yeah, those are some of the Beavis and Butthead references that popped up in media. Also to mention yeah, so yeah. But I thought I'd bring this up. Now we have never, like I said, we have never seen the show, but we're kind of familiar with it.
Also, one more thing, they appeared in the opening of Jackass 3D.
Oh, really?
Yes.
They did, huh?
Yes, they did, with Johnny Knoxville.
Oh my goodness. I mean, wow. I mean, MTV did that too.
Oh my goodness. Only for the opening of the film of what you're going to see.
Wow. Wow. And what's their stunt? Oh, wait a minute. What's Beavis and Butthead's stunt? Oh, wait. They have done a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And by the way, this movie is PG-13, by the way.
Yes, it is PG-13.
It's a PG-13 movie. Plus, the movie's runtime is 81 minutes and the budget is $12 million. It's still a theatrical movie. It's just an 80-minute runtime.
Yes, and of course, Beavis and Butthead is not the only show to air on TV. You got other shows that came out.
Right.
Like, for example, King of the Hill.
Right. King of the Hill came out, I think, after Beavis and Butthead.
I'm pretty sure, although we could be wrong.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, The Simpsons.
Right, and The Simpsons also came out around this time too, but they came out in the late 80s.
The late 80s, and to which they also got their own film in 2007.
Right.
And of course, you also got Family Guy.
Family Guy in the late 90s.
American Dad, Bob's Burgers, and other shows, including the Cleveland Show.
Right. So,
just to name a few.
All right. So anyway, with that being said, let's talk about this movie. All right, folks. All right, Mike. It's time to kick some ass.
Let's do it.
All right. So anyway, the movie opens up with a dream sequence of Beavis and Butthead fighting in the city. It's basically kind of like a Godzilla-esque sequence a little bit, but it's just Beavis and Butthead doing crazy stuff.
Yes, and Butthead was trying to to do wants to score on
Oh,
a woman.
yes, he wants to score. If anybody's wondering, yes, score. He's trying to score. If you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, but well, technically the dream sequence is like Godzilla versus Kong,
Kind of, but not really. But it's Beavis and Butthead.
and Beavis was trying to wake up Butthead, claiming that their TV was stolen.
Yeah, oh yes, that's right. Because the movie opens with their TV being stolen, and it's like, and Beavis, no, not Beavis, and Butthead puts together that the that the TV was stolen. Like he noticed the footprints, he saw broken windows, and then of course the door was open
Crowbar.
and a crowbar. Yeah. So anyway, so they decided to get one by stealing one from their school, right?
Yes, and Butthead was like, "This sucks."
Yes, it sucks because their TV is stolen.
So this sucks more than anything that has ever sucked before.
Well, Biff Tannen is not around to see this, huh? Get it? Because you know how Biff Tannen calls Marty McFly Butthead?
Yeah.
What are you looking at, Butthead?
So now they're on a mission to find a TV.
Well, at least to find a TV, or at least get their TV back. I should say, but you know, it's Beavis and Butthead. They're gonna do a lot of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, so basically they go to the school to take the TV, but apparently, they broke they broke the school's TV, and they ended up being expelled by their principal, who, in my opinion, is basically like a total creep.
Yeah. Yeah, he kind of does.
And he was like, "You're both expelled."
and then and then they said, "Cool."
Wow.
Wow.
Wow, they're so excited. Wow, wow. I mean, they're slackers too. Good thing it wasn't Principal Strickland.
No, no, it's not.
So then they decided to go over. They decided to go over to they go over to Tom Anderson's RV, or was it camper? I think they call it a camper.
Probably a camper.
Probably one of those. It's an RV, but they call it a camper. Is that what it's called? I think, was it a camper?
Probably a camper.
Well, it's an RV. They go to Tom Anderson's RV just to see if there's like a TV inside the RV. I think they called it a camper, but it's obviously an RV. It's funny too because once they go inside, they were about to open the door, but apparently Tom's wife slams the door in one of their faces, and you hear the punch effect as well. And the wife was like, "Oh, are you two here to take a look at the fridge?" And of course, their Beavis and Butthead were like, no, we just want to we want to look at the TV." And of course, Tom's wife's like, "Oh, Tom didn't tell me that the TV was broken. Come on in."
Yeah, up until they decided to watch a TV.
Yes, because they wanted to watch TV. That's the thing.
Uh,
But the funny thing is, Tom doesn't know that Beavis and Butthead are inside the trailer, or the RV, or the camper RV, or whatever it's called. And and I'll be honest, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. Tom Anderson is such a such a sore thumb. I mean, he sticks out like a sore thumb in this entire movie. And what's also funny too, Mike Judge also plays Tom Anderson, who sounds like Hank Hill from King of the Hills.
I mean, he looks exactly like Hank Hill.
He does. He looks like Hank Hill.
And he sounds like him.
Exactly. It's like, "Boy, I got this all set up. You know what's good? You know it's good for some type of camping exciting adventure, some this good butane gas I have for this camper right here. Something like that, you know?
I mean, that is Mike Judge's real voice.
Yes. Yes. I sure hope we could get that fridge fixed or something. And then of course Tom Aaron's like, no, look now listen here. We've been planning this trip our whole lives. We're gonna go come hell or high water to do this trip. Dun, 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 dun. At first, Tom doesn't know that it was Beavis and Butthead inside the RV. He thought it was one of those damn buzzard hogs or something. But of course, Beavis tries to get a drink from the fridge, not realizing that the fridge is broken, and the soda was so warm, he spits it out right in front of the TV, and it and it breaks.
Electrocuted.
Well, electrocuted, yeah, because because the soda that he was drinking, it was warm as it was so warm, right? He even said that this crap of soda was warm.
No, it's not even cold.
It's not even cold. And of course, the TV gets electrocuted. Both Beavis and Butthead walk out of the RV, and of course, Tom is like, "Hey, what are you two do? Hey, what's going on here?"
Maybe they're just here to watch to watch some TV.
Actually, no. The Tom's wife was like, "They're here to fix the TV," and Tom was like, "What? The TV ain't broken."
But Beavis and Butthead just said this. Well, the TV is broken now.
But of course, Tom was like, "Hey, wait a minute. You two look kind of familiar. Ain't you those two boys that been whacking off in my tool shed?"
Oh, probably.
Yeah, so there is a bit of a running joke in this movie where Tom Anderson thinks that Beavis and Butthead were the ones who were whacking off in his tool shed, if you know what I'm saying, right?
Yep.
You know, but of course, later down the line, Beavis and Butthead go to a motel, one of those like motel places. Apparently, they were looking for a TV. They were looking for TV to watch. They eavesdrop on their school principal. You know, doing this one chick in the room, and
And
and of course, apparently, Beavis and Butthead just exposed their own principal, by the way.
and actually, they were like, and Beavis is like, can we? Beavis or Butthead said, can we watch your TV? But the principal says, no, you're expelled.
Well, I'm pretty sure that principal won't be. Well, I'm pretty sure Beavis and Butthead's principal won't be working anytime soon after that.
Nope. Actually, here's a fun fact. There are two brief moments had to be re-edited for the film to maintain a PG-13 rating. In the scene in which McVicker, that's the principal's name, is being spanked in a motel room, he was originally completely naked from the waist down. The animators had to give him boxer shorts in order to get a PG-13 rating.
Oh, so they don't want to see his bare ass, huh?
No. No.
But yet again, Beavis and Butthead were showing their asses in front of this one dude at the airport.
Yes, and also another thing that the second moment was cut entirely, where Muddy offers Beavis and Butthead a sip of his whiskey while taking them to the airport. Although brief, the MPAA rule that any underage drinking was enough to warrant an R rating, and so the final film cuts right as Muddy passes them the bottle.
So that scene was in it, but they cut out the part where they don't take the drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, oh man.
So this was going to be R rated, but unfortunately they decided to do a PG-13.
Yeah, this movie had moments where it almost where it hits the R-rated territory a little bit. Like I feel like many times throughout this movie would have hit an R rating.
Mm-hmm. And of course, we're also introduced to
Muddy Grimes. Muddy Grimes, who's being voiced by Bruce Willis, who believes Beavis and Butthead are the guys that he hired as hitmen, right? And offers them $10,000 to do his wife in Las Vegas.
And he was actually drinking and smoking too.
Yeah, he was
And
definitely drunk and high at the same time.
by the time he heard the door knock, he was like, "Yeah, hold on a minute. That must be them now. And I'll call you back." And he sees these two and claiming that they are the, like, you know,
The hitmen.
the hitman. But Beavis and Butthead are teenagers.
They're teenagers. Even to the point where Muddy was like, "Wow, they said you guys were young. I didn't think you guys were that young."
Yes. Also, this is Bruce Willis's first voice role.
Yeah, I can't believe he voiced that He voiced in that movie too.
Yes, and I mean, not a bad voice actor too.
Yeah, he's a pretty good voice actor.
I mean, he would he would eventually go on to do more voice roles, which includes voicing RJ the raccoon in Over the Hedge. He also voiced Spike the dog from Rugrats Go Wild, and of course, a Lego version of himself in the Lego Movie 2, the second part.
Yeah. So anyway, going back to the movie, Beavis and Butthead. Well, actually, Butthead was like, once he heard about the offer of doing Buddy's wife, Butthead was like, "Yeah, we'll do your wife." And Beavis was like, "No, I want to watch TV."
Yeah, I want to watch TV.
And then Butthead hits him in the face.
Oh, and of course the slapping sound effect too. Don't
Yeah.
forget, they added in a sound effect too.
Yeah, so basically the whole thing is doing his wife, basically having oh my goodness.
Oh.
Thinking that do means have sex. Butthead convinces Beavis that they can finally score and buy a new TV. Yeah. That's on their mindset. That's their mindset right now. That's the whole freaking mindset, that they're gonna score and buy a new TV.
Words do not describe how crazy that movie is.
Yeah, our words will not do justice. You have to watch the movie for yourself to realize how insane this movie is.
Yes.
So anyway, Buddy drives both Beavis and Butthead to the airport, and of course, they both get there, and then of course they get introduced to an elderly woman being played by Cloris Leachman, named Martha, who in my opinion is a very good supporting character in this movie. Like, she's always there whenever Beavis and Butthead are traveling. Like, they first meet on the plane, but of course hijinks ensues when Beavis was going crazy on some of Martha's, prescription pills and
sugar cubes.
sugar cubes.
Candy corn.
Yeah, and then of course this leads Beavis going into his whole "I am Cornholio" rant, right?
Yes. Oh my goodness, about taking the shirt off. Well, part of his shirt.
And then of course this gets all the pilots in a frenzy, which almost causes a plane crash, by the way. And of course, even before taking off, let's just say Butthead almost get scored by a lady by a flight attendee.
Oh my goodness.
Let's be honest, Butthead's a little too young for that woman. I'm not gonna lie. Butthead's a little too young for that woman.
Yeah.
I mean, guys, I'm telling you, this movie is insane. It's insane. It's insanely crazy, but at the same time, it's Beavis and Butthead. You know they're gonna do a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
So
still, yeah, there's gonna be more to come.
There's more to come. Trust me. But anyway, so they almost got into a plane crash because Beavis was going full on cornholio with the pilots telling both Beavis and Butthead to get the hell back in their seats. But thankfully they were able to land safely, and of course Beavis and Butthead, they meet up. They they meet up with the taxi driver, and of course they go to Las Vegas, and they stay in this hotel, right? Actually, not hotel, some yeah, hotel room.
Casino. There's also a casino too.
Right, the casino too. But anyway,
Also, two other guys showed up to see Muddy, the original ones.
yeah, the two guys, I forgot their names, but two other guys showed up to see Buddy, and of course, they think that they're being, screwed over.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
he thinks, and Buddy thinks,
those are the guys to take care of the wife
yeah,
at Dallas.
right.
I mean, and he was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Well, from Muddy. Who are? And he says, "Who are these two clowns?"
Yeah, those two. He thought those. Yeah, he thought Beavis and Butthead were them. Were those two guys that he met? But unfortunately, they're not.
Yes, he was like, "Damn it! I'm gonna go to Vegas. I'm gonna kill these two."
Yeah, he was gonna get. Yeah, Buddy got screwed over.
Uh-oh.
Yep.
That's not good.
Yep, he's gonna go. Yep. Buddy Grimes is about to go full on Die Hard on this.
Yep. Also, those are the two guys that stole the TV.
Oh yes, those were two guys who stole the TV. I forgot who the name of the two guys were, but they were the hitmen who took Beavis and Butthead's TV.
Yes.
So anyway, we cut to Beavis and Butthead who are at the hotel room. We do get a nice CGI moment when they were dancing on the dance on the where they were dancing on the floor with the disco music or with the rock music with the pop music.
Mm-hmm.
And it's actually pretty good CGI, by the way.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's pretty cool.
Pretty cool, pretty good CGI though.
I don't know how they did that, but that is amazing. Up until those security guards came in.
But they do realize it's Beavis and Butthead, arriving to meet up with Dallas.
I mean, they're still teenagers.
Right.
And at a casino.
Oh yes, they're inside a casino and they're teenagers.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. So anyway, in the hotel room, Dallas catches them both eavesdropping and holds them at gunpoint. Now Dallas is being played by Demi Moore, who voiced Esmeralda in The Hunchback of Notre Dame. And also a fun fact, both Demi Moore and Bruce Willis were actually at the time a real life couple.
Yeah, they both got married.
Yeah, they were actually both a real life couple in real life. So now to move forward, the boys refuses. So Dallas puts the pieces together that it was Buddy who sent both Beavis and Butthead to do
do her.
So Dallas came up with an offer of $20,000 to do Muddy and argue over who will do Dallas first.
Yes.
And even Beavis and Butthead was like, "You want us to do a guy?"
Oh.
Wow.
By,
Wow.
With 10 grand.
But they doubled it.
Yes, they doubled it.
Wow. Wow. Was
that cheap ass?
Yep. Yeah, but what are you trying to do? Oh man, what was? Wow.
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 So from 10 grand to
20 grand to do Muddy.
Wow.
Wow. That's just messed up. But anyway, but apparently Beavis and Butthead misunderstood their instructions. So Beavis and Butthead misunderstood the instructions, but apparently what they don't realize is that Dallas plants a X5 unit, which is a stolen biological weapon, inside Beavis's shorts, and she tells them to meet her at the U.S. Capitol in Washington D.C.
Washington?
Yep.
That's where Dallas is gonna be.
Yep. So apparently, what we come to realize throughout this movie is that the government is searching for this stolen weapon, the X5 unit, and it's inside Beavis's pants. So Beavis and Butthead board on a tour bus after they accidentally sabotaged the Hoover Dam, and they sabotaged the Hoover Dam and Tom Anderson's camping adventures, right? Like
Oh.
he's out there, like he's out in the forest right next to a river, and it's like, boy, I tell you right now, this is a good camping adventure. I can stand there doing my barbecue, and of course we got a giant wave pool coming. Wait a minute, giant wave pool. Oh! Well, he doesn't really say that, but he's just like he's surprised that a huge wave pool or a flood.
Actually, also they were also on the bus tour too. Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
Well, also on the run from the entire police force.
Yeah, the U.S. government is on their asses right now.
And of
So
course,
we got Robert Stack plays an agent named Agent Fleming, right?
and before that, the entire government actually came into the hotel to ask questions to Dallas.
Right, but of course, Dallas doesn't do anything about that.
No, but and of course, there's also another character too named Bork.
And he's the second in command, right?
Yes, the second in command,
And he's being played by Greg Kieran, is that right?
Greg Kinnear. He has an uncredited role
Okay,
as ATF Agent Bork.
Agent Borg, Greg Kinnear, right?
Yes.
So anyway, of course, another running joke in this movie is the cavity search.
Oh.
All right, everybody, we are about to go on this mission. We're gonna talk to some people and give full cavity searches.
Yes.
I mean, a big cavity search.
They're looking for that unit, and one of the leaders was like, "Where is that damn unit?"
Exactly. And the thing is, what they know about this unit, that this unit is basically, a dangerous weapon that can kill people. And I think it's also radioactive too. That could get people sick, right?
Yes, vomiting, dying, including everything else.
Right, and Beavis and Butthead don't know about that.
No, they don't even know.
And now and that's why they're being hunted down. They're basically wanted for having that biological weapon.
And also, the power went out too.
Oh, that's right. But over at the Hoover Dam.
Yes, the power went out too because Beavis and Butthead were looking at those cameras, claiming that they were TVs.
But they're not TVs. But they're not TVs. They're actual cameras.
And of course, a Muddy showed up at the casino asking, "Where are these two? Where are these two? Where are these two clowns?" But I believe the manager was like, "I swear, I don't know where they are. They got on the tour bus."
So yeah. Anyway, speaking of tour bus, basically they're going on this tour, and they travel to different places throughout the country, and they stop at Yellowstone National Park. Beavis and Butthead they basically, they're inside the bathroom. They're inside the bathroom playing with those urinals. Those urinals that kind of flush by themselves.
Yeah.
Automatically.
Oh, and then they were also in this canyon.
Right. They stop at the canyon, and they saw a donkey taking a crap.
Oh crap! and Butthead was like, but then he sees the crap coming out, is it's like coming out. It's like coming out. It's like coming out of his ass.
Right.
But
Get
then
it.
it's like also coming out of the ass of the ass.
Get it. The donkey ass is another name for a donkey. Ass is another name for a donkey, by the way.
And Beavis was like, it's like the poops coming out of the ass of the ass.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my.
Yeah, we're not kidding, folks. Beavis and Butthead doing these crazy stuff. But anyway, Beavis and Butthead, who are basically now FBI's most wanted on the list, they accidentally board a bus full of nuns who are repulsed by the boys and abandon them in a petrified forest national park. By the way, by the way, Beavis and Butthead go, and the rest of the nuns go inside a church, and Beavis and Butthead go inside these booths, these confession booths, thinking that they're porta potties.
But no, those are not porta potties.
No, they're not. They're not porta potties. Like, and they're basically confession booths.
Yes.
And
a lot of people came into the church.
A lot of people came into the church to confess, but apparently what they don't, and apparently Beavis and Butthead are inside.
A lot of people want to confess their sin.
Right, they want to confess their sins, but of course, Beavis and Butthead being the, oh man, being like, and of course, Beavis and Butthead, let's just be honest, Beavis and Butthead just screw themselves over inside that confession booth.
Yeah.
Like I said, they don't know what they're let's just say they don't know what they're dealing with.
No, they don't even know what they're dealing with.
They don't know what they're dealing with. And after that whole confession, both Beavis and Butthead were struck by lightning.
Probably from Zeus. Or the gods.
They were probably they were struck by lightning from I think from God.
Yes, from God.
Because let's be honest, they don't know what they were. Beavis and Butthead didn't know. Well, let's be honest, Beavis and Butthead didn't know what they were dealing with, but it was. Let's just say Beavis and Butthead really, really, really shot themselves on the foot with that whole confession scene right there.
Yeah, that was not a good sign.
It was not a good sign for Beavis and Butthead, but
I'm pretty sure.
So, like I said, they did not know what they were dealing with.
Nope, they're just on a mission.
They're just on a mission to find a TV, get a TV. Even the nuns left them behind. By the way, the nuns left Beavis and Butthead behind because of their repulsive behavior.
Yes, they're in a petrified forest national park.
Yes. So anyway,
in the desert area.
So basically, Beavis and Butthead are left behind again,
and there's also a picture. There's also a picture of them being wanted.
Right. By the way, on one of the tour buses, Beavis and Butthead sat with Martha once more.
Martha?
The old lady.
Oh yes, Cloris Leachman.
Yep. So and that was late. That was like early on.
I mean, she's a good actress too.
Oh no, Cloris Leachman's a good actress, and her character pops in, and she's just there, but her chemistry with Beavis is pretty funny.
Yeah, and of course, they are walking into the desert, and the U.S. and the federal agencies showed up in the road, pointing in.
They're basically making like a little I want to say border or something, or a little a blockage, right?
A blockage because they're looking for these two knuckleheads.
Right. So anyway, they're walking through the desert. The boys, and so they're basically walking through the desert while the FBI are basically doing this road blockage where they ask people if they have seen Beavis and Butthead. In one scene, we see Tom Anderson and his wife. They basically talk to the police because the FBI is asking them both, "Hey, excuse me, have you seen these two? Have you seen these two boys?" And Tom Anderson's like, "Sure they are. I know who these boys are. I know who these boys are. I've seen them before."
Yeah.
And what they do next?
Well, that's them. Two kids that have been whacking in my camper.
Yeah. So okay. So it is a camper. So anyway,
and the ATF was like, "You saw these two?" And Anderson, that's his name, right?
Yeah, Anderson.
And Anderson says, "I sure did. Boy, I never seen two kids do so much damned whacking."
Yeah, the whacking in the tools and whacking in the tool shed.
Yes, and then he was like, Yes, sir. I have a positive ID. They're just like a couple of little old spider monkeys. And then all the ATF members were like, "Sir, I'm gonna have to ask you to step out of the vehicle."
And Tom Harrison was like, "No, wait a minute, wait just a damn minute. I'm a veteran of 2 foreign wars. I don't want to be asked to be stepped out of my car and have my camper be searched."
We're on our way to Washington D.C. But well, those ATF guys, they don't give a crap.
Nope, they don't. They searched the whole camper and, of course, cavity search.
And also, they also brought the gun up.
Right.
To tell them to get out of the car.
Right. And these guys are ready to kick some ass.
And also, the TV got destroyed too.
Oh, no. No. They destroyed the TV.
Yes. And yes, yes. And now they're getting a cavity search.
Right.
And then
And then the agent found out that Beavis, who dresses up as Cornholio, he thinks that this guy is an actual threat.
yes, 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 there is evidence right there.
Mm-hmm.
There is evidence that Beavis is being a cornholio. And then the leader was like, give me that flashpoint of origin. We're gonna kick some ass.
Yep, they're ready to kick some ass.
Just like Hank Hill in King of the Hill.
Actually, speaking of King of the Hill, there is a reference. You know the butane gas that Tom Anderson used for the camper? Is actually a reference to butane made by Tom Anderson was changed from propane to avoid a connection to Mike Judge's other animated series King of the Hill, which came out about a year after Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah. Also that line Hank says, "I'm gonna kick your ass."
Really?
Yeah, he always says it in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But in this movie, the leaders of the ATF said, "We're gonna kick some ass."
Yep. So anyway, Beavis and Butthead are walking out in the desert, by the way.
And they saw two motorcycle guys that look exactly like Beavis and Butthead.
And they are unaware that they are their biological fathers, by the way.
Wait, what?
Yeah, unaware that they are their biological fathers.
Biological fathers?
Yeah, look at those. Yeah, if you notice those two bikers, they look exactly like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh my goodness!
So that means who are their moms?
Yeah,
and of course we cut back to their school, by the way, because the whole government is hunting down Beavis and Butthead, while this one music teacher. He's singing "Lesbian Seagull," by the way, and of course during the scene in Highlands High School when Mr. Van Driessen is singing "Lesbian Seagull," one of the people sitting in the circle is Daria Morgendorfer, and Daria is wearing this. She has glasses on. She has a black jacket and red skirt with black or brown shoes, and she's like sitting. She's sitting with a crowd with some of the people singing "Lesbian Seagull." Although it's the guy who's singing "Lesbian Seagull," not Daria. But she makes an appearance, despite having no lines in this movie. Daria was a major recurring character in Beavis and Butthead, and she later received her own MTV animated series titled Daria. That premiered more than 2 months after this film debuted in theaters.
So that's one of Beavis and Butthead's friends, right?
Yes.
And yes, as she almost looks like Velma.
She kind of does a little bit. She looks like Velma a little bit. If Velma was, a slacker, right? But not really though.
No.
But she does look like Velma a little bit if she was a slacker, but not really though. It's not. I mean, it's not Scooby. I mean, Beavis and Butthead, the world of Beavis and Butthead. It's not Scooby Doo, but it's just Mike Judge's. It's Mike Judge's thing, right?
Yes.
And of course, the whole government hunts down Beavis and Butthead, but apparently they interrupt the lesbian seagull himself, Mr. Driessen.
Yes,
and then of course the principal is there too. Even he gets taken away for harboring two wanted criminals.
Yes, which is Beavis and Butthead. Not to mention the principal expelled these two.
Yeah.
And then the leader, what's the leader's name? I kind of forgot. What
Is Fleming?
Fleming.
No, wait. You're asking about the leader, right?
Yes,
Fleming, Agent Fleming.
Agent Fleming. And Fleming was asking one of the students about Beavis and Butthead. But he actually got hit by the gun.
Right, and he was taken away.
And the principal was like, I always knew they were no good.
Yeah, he could say that again because
I hate these two. And then Fleming was like, shut up. You've been harboring two criminal masterminds.
yeah, I mean, I guess you could say he kind of did. Okay, so anyway, now, Beavis and Butthead after the whole
And and of course, Bork has showed these two other photos wanted by the FBI, which is these two biological fathers.
the Beavis and Butthead's biological fathers.
Yes, and then we cut back to these two again in the nighttime.
In the nighttime, eating beans.
Beans.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
beans.
Now we don't see these two throughout the film.
No, we don't see them throughout the rest of the movie. Like they're just there for the campfire scene.
Yes, and they actually farted.
Yes, your classic eating beans and of course farting by the fire,
Yeah.
causing an explosion. So then Beavis and Butthead sleep throughout the night, and of course the next day, Buddy is talking
Well,
to the
well, before that, these two were able to continue on in the desert. They
right
started to get tired and sweaty.
until Beavis eats a cactus,
Yes, I mean,
thinking that there was water inside that cactus.
I mean, this sucks.
Yes, it sucks. All right.
I mean, yes, Beavis did eat the cactus, claiming that it was water. Up until they saw these two vultures
Doing it.
doing it.
The vultures are doing it.
and then we move forward with Muddy seeing these two.
Seeing the picture of Beavis and Butthead, saying, "Well, although he recognizes them, but he's lying to the guard, saying, well, no, I can't say that I've seen them, officer. I sure hope it's safe to drive around here."
And then the ATF guy was like, "Don't worry, sir. Just stick to the main roads. If they're around, they are probably hiding out in the desert." And then Muddy was like, "Well, that's good to know, officer."
So Muddy goes out to the desert.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure he's looking for them.
Yep. So anyway,
And now
we go into probably the most mind tripping scene of all, which is basically the hallucination scene from Beavis and Butthead. So here's how it started. So as I mentioned, Beavis eats a cactus while being dehydrated, and they both start to see their lives flash before their eyes, with Butthead reminiscing on him and Beavis growing up together, while Beavis sees himself as a sperm cell going inside an ovum while suffering dehydration. This was after Beavis took a bite out of a cactus, causing him to have hallucinations. And let's be honest, this goes into a full-on MTV music video.
I don't know how they did that, but that is amazing.
It is probably the most trippiest scene to come out of this movie. And by the way, MTV stands for Music Television Video.
Yes, they have a TV channel there's a TV channel called MTV. Yes, this scene is like Rob Zombie's work
Yes.
with rock and roll.
Music television. I said music television video, but it's music television.
I mean, it's like we're in a music video.
Yeah, exactly. And let's be honest, the way how it's very like the whole hallucination is just basically AC/DC at this point, AC/DC esque images. It's basically Rob Zombie's artwork. It's basically, artwork from Rob Zombie, and let's just say it's very demonic.
Wow.
It's this whole hallucination is completely demonic from the point of Beavis himself.
Yeah, it's a fire, fire.
Yeah, it is. It's very hellish.
Yes, very hellish.
And this is Rob Zombie's artwork and this is from Rob Zombie, by the way.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Like it's a trip. It's definitely trippy. It is so trippy at this point.
We gotta give Rob Zombie credit for doing
To
this.
Rob Zombie's credit, though, he delivered probably the most trippiest scenes coming out of this movie, and oh boy, like there's probably a lot of people who have seen this scene.
Might have nightmares.
Definitely nightmarish. Yeah, that's probably their worst. That's probably Beavis and Butthead's worst nightmare.
Mm-hmm. And then after that's done, they're still on the ground sleeping, and Beavis' hand was like twitching,
Right.
just like a dead animal. And then they got they got sprayed by water from
Mundy, who was about to shoot them down.
I'm going to enjoy this. Any last words before I kill you?
Yippee-ki-yay. Not really, though.
No, and he does have a couple.
Couple of what?
Uh.
Okay, let's move forward. Let's
Yeah.
move forward. So anyway, Muddy finds Beavis and Butthead after learning that Dallas intends to meet them. He puts them in his trunk, by the way, and drives on all the way to DC. And they were inside his trunk the whole time.
Oh my goodness, the trunk of it.
And then in Virginia, they jump out of the interstate and cause a 400 car pileup. And of course, they meet up with Martha on the tour bus once more.
Also, you want to know something about that car?
What's
that Muddy was driving?
What about the car?
There's another facts about that car.
What about that car? So
Muddy's red car is a 1972 Lincoln Continental Mark IV.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Was there anything else about that car too?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, that's all right. But anyway,
that's I just want to bring that up. That car the car that Muddy was driving.
Right.
But I don't think that wasn't a safe place to put Beavis and Butthead in the trunk.
Right. So anyway, Beavis and Butthead walk past the scene and get back on the tour bus, stopping at the Capitol before reaching the White House.
And there's also a speech that Beavis was doing
because he didn't get the score.
Neither Butthead.
I mean, even Beavis is like, "We are never going to score. We are never going to score. We are never going to score." Until the bus driver tackles him.
Yeah.
But of course, Buddy and Dallas finally reunite.
They were in the parking garage.
Yep, and of course,
Buddy was like, well, look at this. The love of my life. Oh, coughing. Where have you been?
And Dallas is like, I was going to split it with you after I sold it.
Oh.
Yeah. Right down the middle. Sure.
But now you don't have to go to all that bother, do you? And then Dallas said,
and Dallas like, come on, Muddy, what do you say? We just forget about it? Yeah, I don't think so.
And go get a room like old times?
Yeah,
I don't think so. Where is it?
They're looking for that weapon. Let's just say, and then of course, let's just say both Dallas and Muddy do. You want to say it? Want to say it with me?
Yes.
Do it. Do it.
Do it.
You know,
Do it. Yeah.
They really do it. Do it.
Do it.
Uh-huh. So anyway,
Yes, but up until they got caught by the ATF.
yep.
Or was it the ATI?
FBI. I'm just saying FBI at this point.
Okay,
So,
so
but of course, Dallas, backstabs Buddy once more about the virus. She said that Buddy was the one who gave the Beavis and Butthead the whole weapon, but it was clearly Dallas who it was clearly Dallas who put the weapon inside Beavis's pants.
yes, and up until they got arrested, and then that was like, "Hey, that's where you're wrong, boy." He was talking to Fleming.
Yeah.
Me and my wife are back together, and you will never. Until Dallas talked about it, he stole the unit. Said he put it in some kid's pants.
Yeah, she backstabbed him.
Oops. And Money was like, "Why, you damn little four leg." Oh my goodness.
Well, they're both arrested at this point.
Yeah, that is. I pretty. You see these two again when they're gone into the van.
And I am pretty sure they were both. And I'm pretty sure they both got cavity searches too.
Yes, but it was Dallas who was the one who put the unit in Beavis's pants.
So yeah, this was after both Dallas and Muddy were doing it in the car.
So yes.
So anyway, the ATF is dispatched to the White House because Beavis and Butthead are there on the same day as a peace conference. Beavis transforms into his alter ego Cornholio after consuming caffeine and sugar, and of course the pills that Martha had. And of course, he wanders into the Oval Office. He picks up the red phone, causing a military alert. Meanwhile, Butthead attempts to seduce Chelsea Clinton. Chelsea Clinton is, the child of former U.S. President Bill Clinton, by the way.
Bill Clinton.
Because Bill Clinton's in this movie, by the way.
And we'll get to him more later.
Yes.
Also, Beavis saw a picture of Richard Nixon
doing the I forgot what pose that Richard Nixon is doing, but he has his arms in the air, and he does the number two symbol, right? Kind of like, I guess it's a double piece or something.
Maybe.
I forgot what it symbolizes, but he has his arms in the air. If you guys know what type of pose that Richard Nixon was doing when he had his arms in the air and have both of his fingers pointing as a number two symbol, let me know what it is in the comments. I don't really know what it is.
Yeah.
But if you know what I'm talking about, Richard Nixon has his arms in the air and basically does this number two sign with both of his fingers and arms up in the air. If anybody knows what it is, let me know in the comments down below.
And now we come into the entire police force into the Capitol Hill.
Yes, because the whole Capitol Hill and the White House are being, evacuated because of the whole weapon that they're looking for. And obviously enough, by the way, Butthead gets thrown out of Chelsea Clinton's bedroom before he is detained and cavity searched by the ATF officers, by the way.
They were asking Butthead about the unit.
Right.
So Butthead got a cavity search.
Right. So anyway, while Beavis is
after that cavity search that Butthead just did, he says,
did I just score? Oh no! And then on top of that, here we go. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna talk about it now. Come on.
Okay. The other
thing with Beavis, where Beavis in his cornholio attire goes to Tom Anderson's camper trailer, and he has a picture of of Dallas. You know, the picture that
Yes.
Buddy gave to him on the way to Las Vegas, and of course,
Yes.
let's just say Beavis goes into, let's just say he goes ultra cornholio.
Ultra cornholio.
He goes ultra cornholio with some with a little bit of the ooh cha 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 music going on in the background, like ooh cha 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 dun 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 dun, ooh cha 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 dun 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 dun.
Actually, here it is. It's the salsa music plays. The salsa music plays in the background.
Yes,
And
it is. You know what? That adds to the overall humor. On top of that, it cuts to the Washington Monument.
and
You know what? That whole that cut alone says it all of what Beavis is doing, and he goes inside Tom Anderson's camper trailer.
I'll be honest, the editing of this movie was hilarious.
It is so funny. And it's so funny that Beavis, you know what I'm talking about. He goes inside that camper just to, let's just say, according to Tom Anderson, he goes to whack.
Yes.
He whacks off in the trailer.
Yes.
And of course, Tom Anderson and his wife are still inside the White House. It's like, boy, I tell you what, it really makes you proud. I could stay in here all day. And then, of course, one of the ATF agents came over to escort Tom and his wife out. And Tom was like,
Hey, now that's enough. I've been planning this trip for my whole life.
yeah, because Tom Anderson planned this whole trip his whole life to go to Washington, D.C.
Yes. Yes, and he says, and hey, what do you think you're... Something about going out. We haven't seen the Lincoln Room. We haven't seen the Lincoln Room yet. Damn it! Now let go of me.
And of course, Tom and his wife go outside, and of course, it's so funny now because what they don't know is that Beavis is inside the camper whacking off with the salsa music.
Yes.
Like it's just basically dun 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 dun. Tom is talking to his wife. He says, "I'm telling you what, this country is going to hell in a handbasket.
Oh my goodness.
I'm going to go over right now to talk to my congressman about this." And then, of course,
you think
what?
you think you're gonna tell that to the congressman?
Well, that plan has changed because Tom Anderson notices the camper is shaking.
Yeah, but
So he goes inside. He goes inside the camper and finds Beavis. And Tom Anderson's response is like, "Oh!"
what the hell is that damn noise?
And Beavis is like,
Hey, how's it going?
and Tom Anderson is like, "Pull your damn pants up, boy! I don't want to see any of that."
Damn it! Get out of here!
And of course, Tom Anderson was like, "And if I ever catch you wacky in here again, I'm gonna hog tie ya." Oh, you know, Tom Anderson has had enough.
Yeah.
At this point, he has had enough. He tosses Beavis out of the trailer like a boss.
Yeah. Yes. And he says, ah, damn it. Now I gotta straighten it up in here.
I don't know what he has to straighten up, but you know, he's gonna have to fix things up. And then, of course, Agent Fleming and
Bork.
Bork are still searching for Beavis.
And up until Bork saw the camper.
Yeah, the camper, right?
Yes. Yes, they saw the camper, including Beavis.
In full cornholio. And these guys were about to shoot him.
Yes.
They were going to shoot him if he doesn't cooperate.
Uh-huh. And they also brought in Butthead along.
Right.
Even though Butthead doesn't have the unit, Beavis has the unit.
Beavis has the unit. Or does he?
Or does he? Which is in the pants.
Inside the trailer, by the way.
Yes, he's still on full-on cornholio. And yes, they keep asking questions. I mean...
But Beavis doesn't listen.
No, he doesn't listen. He doesn't even... Not paying attention.
Right, he's like, "Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me?"
Yes, and he says, do you have TP? TP for my bunghole? And then
Fleming was like, "We'll get you whatever you want. We just want the unit. Get the other kid. We might need him."
Do you have any holio? And then Borg was giving
like, listen, we need some TP, I guess toilet paper, I guess.
TP and some
What did
what?
he say? I don't think it matters at this point because once they were about to ready to shoot Beavis,
I mean, Beavis is just jerking everyone off.
yes, yeah, you know what he's doing, yeah.
So as of now, the entire government system is ready to fire.
Open fire on Beavis, and of course, in the last second, Tom Anderson opens the trailer door and says, "Take your damn pants with you."
And then also Beavis realizes after all this gibberish stuff, he says, "Hey, what's going on here? What is this?" And then Fleming was gonna say three, ready to open fire at Beavis, and then Anderson says, "Take your damn pants with you."
And of course, um,
And then, but unfortunately, they hold to their fire.
right, they hold to their fire, and
And then Anderson says, "What in the hell is this?"
we was like, "What in the hell is this? The pants? He's got the unit." It was a bit of slow motion at this point, where they go to they go into slow mo right now, where the FBI are tackling Tom Anderson, and of course, the X5 unit rips out of the pants, flies up in the air, and of course lands on top of Beavis's hand. By the way,
Oh my
but it
goodness!
hits the head first, and then lands in the hand.
Yes.
Well, actually, no, Butthead. Excuse me, Butthead.
It's Butthead.
Right, Butthead. Why did I
And
say Beavis? I mean,
also, I just love Anderson's reaction. He actually turns his head around, and he was like, "Uh oh."
yeah, yep. You know he's screwed. He's screwed. He sticks out like a sore thumb at this point. And of course, Butthead was like, here you go.
Yep.
So they got the unit back, and of course, the FBI put Tom Anderson in handcuffs, and Borg finds a picture of Dallas, and he was like,
How do you explain this?
and Anderson was like, what in the hell are you talking about?
Yes, and then Fleming says,
So using two innocent teenagers.
as pawns in your sick game, huh?
And Anderson doesn't know what the guy is talking about, right?
Look, I don't know what's going on around here."
And Fleming was like, take him away. Hey, get your hands off me! Ah, hey! And everybody, you see the looks on everyone's face, including his wife. I feel so bad for his wife at this point.
Yes.
Although at the same time, you gotta feel bad for Tom Anderson at this point. Like, he didn't do anything wrong, but he's literally at the wrong place at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And he sticks out like a sore thumb for a guy who is a veteran of two foreign wars. We don't know what wars he's talking about, but he says, I'm a veteran of two foreign wars.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get to see Muddy and Dallas one last time.
Yep.
So these two really got their comeuppance at the end.
But let's be honest. Even Beavis and Butthead was like, I knew this guy was pretty weird.
Yeah, there was something wrong with him.
Uh-huh. I'm pretty sure he got out of jail.
Yes, he was falsely accused.
Technically, he was falsely accused, but let's be honest, he didn't realize what he was getting into either. Same with Beavis and Butthead.
I mean, yeah, even though these two were wanted by the FBI.
Now they're pretty much, off the list now.
Yes.
They're off the list. So now they get greeted by none other than who else?
President Bill Clinton.
Yep, President Bill Clinton. And of course, they make them honorary ATF agents.
ATF agents.
Yep. And here's also funny about this whole scene right here. So here's something interesting about this scene. So There's also a deleted scene about this. So deleted here's something interesting about Bill Clinton, at least for this movie. So a deleted scene showing Chelsea Clinton packing up to leave the White House was also shot as an alternate to the scene in the film depicting Butthead meeting Chelsea in her bedroom. In the event that Bill Clinton should lose his 1996 re-election bid to Bob Dole. However, by the spring of 1996, Judge chose to keep the original scene, feeling confident that Clinton would win his re-election bid against Dole, which he ultimately did that November.
So yeah, he was pretty sure that was his second term.
Second term, yes. That was the second term.
And Bill Clinton is actually a saxophone player.
That's true, yes. It's a funny cameo. I'll say that.
And then they got it. They also got something like for recognition of great service. He actually Bill Clinton appointed Beavis and Butthead honorary agents to the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms.
Yep.
So now they're back home.
So they're back home in Texas, I believe now. And then of course, Highland, Texas, upset that they did not score or receive money, but you know what they were able to find at the end?
Their TV.
Yes, their TV at the motel and walk into the sunset carrying it back home.
Yes, and that is Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Yes, that is Beavis and Butthead Do America. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that was
Oh my goodness.
yeah, that was a crazy movie.
Oh my goodness. It was a crazy film.
Also, you want to know what's interesting? So you know how the movie opens up, right?
Yes.
The movie opens up with a very 70-esque feeling to it, as if Beavis and Butthead were like 70s hitmen of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
Well, so apparently the opening theme from Beavis and Butthead Do America, two cool guys, and it was basically two cool guys theme for Beavis and Butthead Do America, and it was actually performed by Isaac Hayes.
Isaac Hayes?
Yeah, Isaac Hayes, who actually wrote the theme song for Shaft. Who wrote the theme song for Shaft, and of course voiced the chef in the South Park series.
Really?
Yep.
Wow, I didn't notice that.
Mm-hmm.
Did he also did that for Blues Brothers 2000?
I think it was one of the band members and I think it was one of the band members in another band for that scene, right?
Yeah.
So anyway,
yeah, that movie is really crazy.
yeah. All right. So anyway, with that being said, this movie was fun.
Yeah, it is fun.
I mean, story-wise, I mean, it's a fun story. The story is fun, the acting is fun, the animation is overall good.
Yes, even though it can be weird at times.
Definitely a weird movie at times, but still, like for an adult animated film, but also based on an adult animated show, by the way.
Yes.
It's something, right?
Mike Judge did a fantastic job directing this movie, including with his voice performance as Beavis and Butthead.
Right.
Well, not only Beavis and Butthead, but he voiced other characters too. Tom Anderson is one of them.
Right, Tom Anderson, as I mentioned a lot throughout this episode.
And then we mentioned Principal McVicker.
Yeah, the principal, Van Driesen, and then
the hippie teacher and the old guy with Camper.
Right. That's Tom Anderson,
Yes.
old guy with Camper, you know?
Yes. Also, Bruce Willis and Demi Moore, both of them did a fantastic job of lending their voices.
Including Cloris Leachman as well.
And then Robert Stack also did a fantastic job voicing playing Agent Fleming, including Greg Kinnear, who was uncredited for the role of
Right.
Fork.
Right.
I mean, the musical score was awesome. musical score was very good.
I mean, the soundtrack too. I mean, it's the rock and roll soundtrack that they had.
Including the mind tripping scene.
That whole mind trip scene was messed up.
Yeah, that was a messed up scene.
But other than that, this is a pretty fun movie.
It is a fun movie. And
also to mention too, this movie is 30 years old, by the way.
Celebrating its 30th, celebrating 30 years. So we are right around that corner. Since this is 2026,
yeah,
we're right around it.
Right.
Even though it came out in December.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and then for other shows like The Simpsons, for example, they were able to get their own film, which is The Simpsons movie.
Right. But other than that, the movie itself is pretty good. We had fun with this movie.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. Fun movie to watch.
A fun movie. I mean, with these two knuckleheads.
Yep, Beavis and Butt-Head are definitely knuckleheads.
And they were able to get a sequel.
Yeah, they got a sequel later on down the line.
Even though it was not released theatrically, it was released on Paramount Plus, to which that movie actually turned out to be very good.
Yeah. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that is it on that movie.
So we enjoyed this movie for what it is. This was a fun movie.
It's on Paramount Plus.
It's on Paramount Plus, yeah. But anyway, with that being said, there you have it, folks. That is our take on Beavis and Butt-Head Do America.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks for joining me on this episode.
Yeah, you're very welcome, Mark.
Anyway, let's close out this episode, shall we?
Certainly.
All right, so anyway, final ranking, 9 out of 10. I enjoy this movie.
So do I.
Like, it's obviously a fun movie to watch. I mean, it's obviously a fun movie to watch. Especially story, the writing, the acting, even the animation itself. A lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. It's definitely a fun movie to watch. I mean, for an adult animated movie.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, with that being said, what did you guys think of Beavis and Butt-Head Do America? Did you like this movie? Did you not like this movie? Do you think this movie was okay? Do you think this movie holds up 30 years later? I would love to hear your thoughts.
I say it still holds up.
I say so too.
But I'm pretty sure they'll continue on with the Beavis and Butt-Head show in the near future.
I'm pretty sure. Well, anyway, with that being said, that'll be a wrap for this episode. Thank you all for tuning in to Codo Cinema. I'm your host, Mark Codo, aka Codoman.
And I'm Mike Codo.
Remember to watch movies and stay positive.